someplace different. I'm at Punderson State Park, right in front of the Punderson Manor, which is actually a pretty nice lodge they have here. It's supposedly haunted as well. Maybe that could be another journey some night or something. I have stayed here once. I've never experienced anything of that sort yet. But I thought I would come here and hike today. I haven't been here in probably over a year, or at least since last summer or fall. And it's a really great place. There's a lake right behind the lodge. And sometimes I meet friends up here at the little bar they have inside, which is kind of cool. But I just thought I would do something different today, and here I am. So I'm going to walk behind the lodge here down to a trail that runs along Punderson Lake, and I will show you guys what's going on. This is pretty cool place. There's some cabins back here. You can kind of see there. You can rent little cabins right on the lake, or whatever. So a nice place. I may cut this short today because I might be meeting somebody here in a little bit. Oh, there's a little swimming pool down there. Outside swimming pool, inside swimming pool. They have a restaurant here that you can eat inside or outside. I actually am curious to see if they've put the tables out yet. There's sometimes in the summer they set up some tables in the back, and we'll see if they have those tables. And then I'll walk down to the lake, and maybe we'll walk along the lake. And yeah, this is a really cool place. And actually, this is what's considered a glacier lake. I guess it was formed by glaciers. It's one of the few naturally formed lakes of this size, I suppose. I don't know the exact statistics, but it's an old lake in that sense, and kind of cool. So yeah, here's the manor back. I hope you guys can hear me. I'm trying not to be too loud here. I don't want to disturb anyone. The back view up there, and that tower is like a library. A little library that's kind of cool. So it looks like they do not have the tables out yet. They're normally on that little back patio there, right on top of the yellow steps. So it's a little too cold for that yet, but probably soon. Right there's the dining room. I mean, this is a really nice place. It's got a nice aesthetic. But let's take a look down here at the lake. Walk around. There's a little boardwalk they built a couple years ago that's nice. You can rent these little fire pits. Come down and just, sit around the fire and chat or whatever. It's a nice place. They have little conference rooms here as well. We've rented those out at our work. But this is just an amazing little gem. Also about 25 minutes south of where I live. So not too far. I'll watch my step here. Steps down. Very peaceful place. This is another place I'll probably come quite a bit because it's quiet. There aren't usually a lot of people on the trails, and it's beautiful, very nature-based and immersive, especially as it gets more later in the spring and summer. But even now, I mean, it's pretty fairly well bloomed and everything here. I'm actually just going to get off on the rocks. It's a little easier than watching where I step. You can see the boardwalk there off to the right. I'm getting excited. I'm reminding myself of what this place is like, and I'll be spending quite a few hours here walking, and you know, maybe I'll rent a room one night. It's kind of nice, even though it's close. It's another beautiful wonder here in Ohio. I don't know if you can hear it. There's a lot of nature going on. These benches look new. Maybe we'll first take a walk around the boardwalk. Or at least up just a little bit and see what's going on. There's sometimes some people fishing off the pier here. Yeah, these little fishing piers. You'll get a good view of the lake. It's like a little floating walkway. Kind of interesting. Seen some turtles out here. It's a very cool lake. Actually, I had an interesting little eerie story. One of the first times I came here, it was late at night, full moon, and I saw something glowing in the water. I mean, this is not BS either, it's actually true. And I couldn't figure out what it was. It looked like a huge eel or something, but it looked just like the size of a dog. And to me, it was green and luminous. And the weirdest part is I was walking along that trail over there that goes along the lake, and I could have sworn it followed me as I was walking, and I would hear it splashing. And there was one point where I heard a splash that was as loud as like if a person or a dog or a very large animal would have jumped in the water. And I was all alone, but the moon was lighting everything up so I could see just enough. It followed me all the way down to the end of the trail, or at least I don't know if it followed me, but it went with me until the very end, which is quite a ways down there. And at that dock I saw what looked to me like it was on the other side of the lake, and it had jumped into the water somehow and was swimming around in the water, and but lit up by its own light. So this was like a very, you know, some people have interesting experiences here. I guess that's the only one that I can recall that is interesting, but it was one of the first times I was here, and I tell that story just because it's kind of interesting, cool, and it's real. And I don't know, there could be many. I think the best rational explanation I came up with is there can be beavers, large beavers in the lake, possibly because it was a full moon shining on their fur. Maybe it could have given off a green luminous light. I don't know. I guess I'm not a wildlife expert, but seems strange to me, and I just love, you know, thinking about that. But anyway, it's just a little cute little story. I don't give a tremendous, you know, amount of weight to or anything, but if you do some research, there's some videos, some ghost hunters have come here to Punderson. There have been claims of seeing a woman out here on the lake, and some other interesting ghost stories from people. I mean, I actually heard quite a few ghost stories from people that worked here, and they did not sound manufactured. They sound legitimate, you know, disembodied. I don't know, there was one, I think we're like in one of the main rooms of Punderson, more than one worker saw like the image of a man hanging from like the roof, like in this one of these main rooms with a fireplace, and like it went on for a while. It's kind of crazy, but people, you know, there's quite a few people that swore by that, more than one. So anyways, interesting little stories, but I just enjoy the nature here for the most part. Although it does add to the mystique, I think, to have a little bit of the history of this place. And I'm not going to go into all that. You could research the place yourself if you're curious. Punderson Manor. It's got an interesting history, like why it's here. I think there was an electric railroad that connected this location. Actually went around to a number of different places, like back in the early 1900s, and this was like one of the stops where people from Cleveland, and, you know, which was a big industrial hub at the time, would come out here into sort of the more remote regions, which were probably even more forested and wooded and natural at that time, and now it's been urbanized a bit. It actually turned out to be a really beautiful day. The sky is blue, wind is picking up, so yeah, kind of cool. I'm gonna go all the way across. There's some people fishing down there. I'm not gonna bother them. I'll just walk maybe on the trail. There's a little beach down here too. You can walk halfway down the trail, and people have weddings here. It's a very interesting place, very beautiful setting. So you can do a lot of thinking here, or not thinking, just immerse yourself in the natural world here, which is mostly what I do. Just go for a walk. So, I won't go too far. Maybe we'll just walk up to the end of the boardwalk, and I might come out a little bit later for another walk. But another great place, Punderson State Park, Punderson Manor, it's called. Look it up if you're in the area. It's another place I vaguely knew about, but hadn't really come here in a number of years, and then I rediscovered this, just like I rediscovered the Holden Arboretum and all these other parks. And sometimes it's easy to discredit Ohio, or even Northwest Ohio, if you don't really pay attention to what's going on here and all the great places there are to come. You miss out. There's a lot of really cool places. Like I love places like Sedona, Arizona, and Ojai, California. They're awesome places, but at this time of year, these places are pretty awesome. Great thing about living in Ohio, it's wet, it's rich and diverse life, a lot of diversity here. So really cool. I'm getting excited for spring and summer. I've been excited. We had what seemed like a long winter. I suppose it's as long as it's ever been, but it seemed a little longer this year. And it'd be nice to put some of those gray skies behind us and get some blue sky for some warm days. It's just amazing. These days, perfect. You know, it's not too hot at this point. Just a little jacket's all you need. Maybe I'll sit here and chill for a while. I'll take a break from recording maybe pick back up later, or maybe just come back another day. We'll see what happens. Nothing is planned.